Welcome to our economics class, session number 3. This session is a continuation from the session number 2, where we started looking at the price theory. And in that particular session, session number 2, we covered certain aspects of the price theory. And in this particular session, I'll continue with the topic, the price theory. But to be specific, in this session number 3, I'll be covering elasticities. Elasticities, that is, looking at the elasticity of demand and the elasticity of supply. So let's start with the price elasticity of demand. In short, the PED, price elasticity of demand, can be written as PED. So what is the price elasticity of demand? The price elasticity of demand is simply the responsiveness of the quantity demanded of a good or service to changes in prices of that good or service, other things remaining equal, or ceteris paribus. So what we're saying here is that, does the demand for a particular good change when we change the prices, or how does demand respond to the changes in prices of this particular good? So there are 5 different terminologies that are attached to the PED, or price elasticity of demand. The first one is where you have a perfectly inelastic demand. Perfectly inelastic demand simply means that the demand is zero, meaning that even if you change the prices for this commodity or good, the quantity demanded does not change. So PED is zero. The demand does not respond to the changes in prices. The second terminology relates to a relatively inelastic demand, which means your PED, your price elasticity of demand, as measured, is less than 1. So when your PED, price elasticity of demand, is less than 1, you say the product has got inelastic demand. It also simply means that the percentage change in price will cause a smaller percentage change in quantity demanded. A percentage change in price causes a smaller percentage change in quantity demanded. Then you have terminology number 3, which is the unit elastic demand. This is where the PED equals 1. So when you have the PED measured equals to 1, then you say we have unit elastic demand. It simply means that the percentage change in price causes the same percentage change in quantity demanded. The fourth terminology relates to an elastic demand, or relatively elastic demand. This is where the PED is greater than 1. PED is greater than 1. The price elasticity of demand measured is greater than 1. It simply means that the percentage change in price causes a bigger percentage change in quantity demanded. Then we have the last situation, which is perfectly elastic demand. This is where the PED is equals to infinite. It simply means that consumers will buy infinite quantity of a product at a given market price, but then attempts to increase the price above that market price will cause demand to fall to 0. Let me just go on a different page and try to demonstrate these PEDs. So let me use this part of the page. So what we said is that if your PED equals 0, it means that you have perfectly inelastic demand. Demand does not respond to changes in prices. So PED equals to 0. The graphical presentation will be something like this. All right. So that's the price there. We have our price that's the price. Then on the x-axis of your graph you have the quantity Q. So the demand curve is such that the demand curve will be a vertical line, meaning that regardless of the changes in the price, the quantity demanded remains the same. That's the PED equals to 0, perfectly inelastic demand. When you have your PED that is less than 1, the PED that is less than 1, you have relatively inelastic demand, meaning that the percentage change in price causes a smaller percentage change in quantity demanded. The graphical presentation of that will be something like this. You have your price, you have your quantity, and your graph will be something like that, a bit slanty. So that's the PED of less than 1, meaning that a percentage change in price causes a smaller percentage change in quantity demanded. A percentage change in price causes a smaller percentage change in quantity demanded. So the change on the part of quantity is smaller than the change on the part of price. That's what inelastic demand implies. Something like that. Then PED equals to 1. You have unit elastic demand. PED equals to 1, you have unit elastic demand. This means that the change in the price causes the same percentage change in quantity demanded. The percentage change in price causes the same percentage change in quantity demanded. The graph for unit elastic demand will look like this. Let's say that's the price and that's the quantity. The graph goes like that. What this implies is that the same percentage change, the percentage change in price causes the same percentage change in quantity demanded. If we change price by 10%, for example, quantity demanded change by the same percentage. So you have to make sure that the gap on your price side is the same as the gap on your quantity side. The percentage change in price causes the same percentage change in quantity demanded. So where you have a PED that is greater than 1, PED greater than 1, this is described as relatively elastic demand. The percentage change in price causes a bigger percentage change in quantity demanded. So the graphical presentation of that will be something like this. Let's say we have our price and our quantity lines. PED greater than 1, the graph will be something like that. The percentage change in price, let's say that's our percentage change in price, causes a bigger percentage change in quantity demanded. The percentage change in price causes a bigger percentage change in quantity demanded. you notice that the gap on your quantity side is bigger than the gap on the price side. So that's PED greater than 1. Now PED equals to infinite. PED equals to infinite. PED equals to infinite. This implies that consumers will buy infinite quantity of a product at any given market price, but any attempt to increase the price above the market price will cause demand to fall to zero. So something like this. PED equals to infinite. The demand curve will be something like that. That's our demand curve. This implies that consumers will buy infinite quantity of a product at that market price, but any attempt to increase the price above the market price causes demand to fall to zero. So those are the 5 different conditions for the price elasticities of demand. Let's get back to our original page. So those are the terminologies that I wanted to explain concerning the price elasticity of demand. At least we've got a clue. The other thing that I need to mention at this stage is how to calculate the price elasticity of demand, PED. How do we calculate PED? PED is calculated as the percentage change in price, percentage change in quantity demanded over the percentage change in price. So something like this. Let me get back to my working page. If this is our working page, let's put up the formula for calculating PED. So PED formula, PED equals percentage change in quantity demanded divided by the percentage change in price. So let's just have that formula there. So we have our percentage change in quantity demanded divided by the percentage change in price. Percentage change in price. That's the formula for PED. Percentage change in quantity demanded divided by the percentage change in price. So that's the formula for calculating PED. Back to our original page, let's look at some factors that influence price elasticity of demand for a good. The following are some of the factors that influences PED of a particular good. Number 1 is the percentage of income spent on a particular good. If you are spending a smaller percentage of income on a good, its PED is inelastic. The price elasticity of that particular good will be inelastic. If you are spending a bigger proportion of your income on a particular good, then the PED for that good will be elastic. The second factor that influences PED of a good is the availability of substitute. A good that has got readily available substitutes will have its PED greater than 1. So there will be elastic demand for those goods that have got substitutes. And a good that has got no closed substitutes will have its demand or PED inelastic. PED is going to be less than 1. So those products that do not have closed substitutes have inelastic demand. And those products that have got closed substitutes have elastic demand. Number 3 factor that influences demand is whether the product is a necessity or not. All necessities have got inelastic demand. Inelastic demand for necessities. What is a necessity? This is a product that people cannot do away with. So all necessities will have inelastic demand. What that means is that regardless the price, people will keep on buying these products because the products are necessities. Number 4 factor that influences PED is the time horizon. In the short run, demand is usually inelastic. In the long run, demand is elastic. Number 5 factor that influence price elasticity of demand for a good is whether a good is a habit forming product or not. Those addictive products or habit forming products have got inelastic demand because once people become addicted, they will buy regardless of the changes in prices. So those are some of the factors that influence price elasticity of demand for a good. What are the uses of price elasticity of demand information? This information can be used by managers to arrive at pricing decisions. I'll be talking about that with an example that we are going to do in this particular session. So managers use the PED information for particular products in order to arrive at pricing decisions. If a product has got elastic demand, managers or firms may decide to reduce the price in order for them to increase the total revenue. And if the product has got inelastic demand, the best decision is to increase the price, and that is going to increase the total revenue for a firm. Let me come again on that point. It's a very important point. If the product has got elastic demand, managers may decide to reduce the prices for those products in order to increase the total revenue, since the percentage change in the price for the product will result in a bigger percentage change in quantity demanded. So when you reduce the price by a certain percentage, the quantity demanded will increase by a bigger percentage than just the percentage change in price. Who else can use PED information? Government can also use PED information to make tax decisions. And those products which have inelastic demand must be taxed highly in order for government to increase or maximize its total tax collections. That's for PED. Price elasticity of supply refers to the responsiveness of supply or quantities supplied to changes in prices. So also for supply, we've got perfectly inelastic supply. That's when the PS, price elasticity of supply, equals 0. Relatively inelastic supply, price elasticity of supply is less than 1. Unit elastic supply, price elasticity of supply equals to 1. Relatively elastic supply, price elasticity of supply is greater than 1. And perfectly elastic supply, price elasticity of supply is equals to infinite. So factors influencing elasticity of supply includes the following. Number 1, existence of inventories of finished goods. If the company or firm has got inventory readily available, they can adjust their supply levels easily, and so the price elasticity of supply is greater than 1 if the company has got existing inventories. Availability of labor. If there is labor and other resources are readily available for a company, the company can also easily adjust the supply levels, so supply there is elastic. If the company has got spare capacity, supply will be elastic. If the company has got readily available raw materials and other components, supply will also be elastic. If there are no barriers to entry, supply will be elastic. But where there are barriers to entry, supply will definitely be inelastic, because barriers simply means that the industry prevents new entrants from entering that particular industry and participate in supplying. The time scale, supply is inelastic in the short run and elastic in the long run. So apart from the PED and PES, we also have other elasticities, such as the cross elasticity of demand. This is the responsiveness of demand for one good to changes in the price for the other good. And the income elasticity of demand means the responsiveness of demand to changes in income levels. Now let me go to our working sheet and try to work out few examples there. The first question I want to tackle is coming from the DA3 Business Economics. This is June 2018, and this was question number 3, part C. The question says, calculate the following elasticities. So given that the price elasticity of demand for beer is -2, if beer increases in price by 15%, calculate the fall in the quantity demanded. We already have the formula for PED. So let me just get that formula for PED. Bring it down there. So what you need to do with this formula is simply replace what you have been given in the question. We are told that the PED is a -2, PED is -2. So where there is PED, put -2. That's the PED we've been given. Then the percentage change in price is also given. The percentage change in price is 15%. So we have your 15% there. A fraction equal to a fraction, you cross multiply. So the percentage change in quantity demanded is going to be equals to -2 multiplied by 15. So this is going to be equals to -30. It's going to be equal to -30. What does that mean? It simply means that the quantity demanded will fall by 30% if the price of beer was to increase by 15%. The price of beer increasing by 15%, quantity demanded falls by 30%. That's what that means or imply. Part 2 of the question, it says the consumer spends 200 kwacha monthly on product A when its price is 2 kwacha, and continues to spend 200 monthly when its price increases to 2.5. Calculate the consumer's price elasticity of demand. So price elasticity of demand means the change in percentage change in quantity demanded over the percentage change in price. So we bring down that formula. And so what we need to do there is to work out the percentage change in quantity demanded. So at 200 kwacha, at the price of 2 kwacha, the consumer spends 200 kwacha. So the quantity there, the quantity purchased, which we call our Q1, quantity 1, is going to be 100 units. So if the consumer is spending 200 kwacha to buy product A, whose price is 2 kwacha, then the consumer is buying 100 units of that. Simple logic. Secondly, when the price changed to 2 kwacha 15 way, the consumer still spends 200 kwacha, meaning that this time around the consumer is buying 80 units. 80 units are purchased. 80 units are purchased. I hope our calculations is clear on that one. How many units there is the consumer buying when he spends 200 kwacha at 2 kwacha per unit? It's 200 divided by 2 kwacha. How many units are bought at that price? Spending 200 kwacha when the price is 2.5 is 200 kwacha divided by 2.5. That will give you 80. So the change in the quantity demanded is from 100 units to 80 units. So there is a 20 units difference, and the change in price is from 2 to 2.5. So this is price 1. That's our price 1. Price 1 is 2 kwacha. Our price 2 is 2 kwacha 15 way. That's our price 2. So we have that. How do we calculate the percentage change in quantity demanded? let me just demonstrate how to calculate the percentage change in quantity demanded. So percentage change in Q is equals to Q2 minus Q1 in brackets divided by Q1, then everything multiplied by 100%. So let's get everything there multiplied by 100%. That's how we calculate the percentage change in quantity. And the same formula is used for percentage change in price. That's the price 2 minus price 1 divided by price 1 times 100%. So if we do this, we're going to have our quantity 2 is 80. Our quantity 2 is 80. Our quantity 1 is 100. And our quantity 1 there is 100. So 80 minus 100 divided by 100 multiplied by 100%. That should give us about 20%. So that should give us 20%. Percentage change in price, we do the same thing. Percentage change in price. So it's the P2, price 2, minus price 1 divided by price 1 multiplied by 100%. So what's the price 1? Price 1 is 2, price 2 is 2.5. So we'll say price 1 2 minus price 2 2.5 divided by price 1 2 multiplied by 100%. This should give us about 25%. 25%. So back to the formula. PED, percentage change in quantity demanded, over percentage change in price. So the percentage change in quantity demanded that we calculated, percentage change in quantity demanded is 20%. 20% divided by the percentage change in price, percentage change in price, percentage change in price, which is 25%. And if you tap that in your calculator, you should have a negative, you should have a negative 0.8. Negative 0.8 as your PED. So the PED negative 0.8, this is less than 1, so you conclude the product has got inelastic demand. The product has got inelastic demand. And finally, part 3 of question C, list 2 uses for price elasticity of demand. Of course, price elasticity of demand is used for making price decisions by managers, and government can also use that to make tax decisions. So when managers are making price decisions based on the PED, if the PED is greater than 1, you reduce the price to increase total revenue. If the PED is less than 1, you increase the price to increase the total revenue. So thank you so much for sparing time to listen to this particular video. See you in the next